Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 building video. Today we're doing a micro home with the new Tiny Living Stuff pack. So if you don't know, in this pack there's a new lot type called Tiny Homes. There's 3 different tiers. If you build a house within 32 tiles, you are considered a micro home. So that is what we're going to be doing, fitting everything that we need to within a micro home. But that's not all. I asked on Twitter what kind of things you guys wanted to see, and as you may have guessed, one of them was trying to build a trailer and work it out that way. But there was also another one to try and get, 2 adult Sims and a toddler. But I was like, a toddler is great and all. You can fit him in a smaller bed. But I was like, I might as well try and design this with 3, not 3 child Sims, 2 adults and 1 child. So then you could have them grow up a teenager, adult, and basically three fully grown adults can live in this place. It might be a little small, but it's possible. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And you can see I spent a lot of the beginning of this trying to figure out the exact size I was going to go for because it needed to be 32 tiles or less. And I also needed, I wanted like a little balcony on the back, and I was like, yeah, I might as well try and figure that out. And I found out, because I was like, I want to put some stairs to get up to the top. I didn't actually use the roof, but you can, if you want to, when you're doing these, is use the roof space for additional stuff, because it doesn't technically count as more floor tiles. I didn't put anything up there because I felt like we didn't need to. You'll see, I think we get everything in. We don't really need anything up there, but it's accessible if you want. And it also saved me a few tiles on the back of the house. You may have seen that I was able to remove like 3 of the tiles at the back, and I added a bit to the front to give it that sort of, I guess, diagonal pointed bit at the front, which gave us a bit more space, which is great. And now begins the figuring out of the floor plan and testing it. I did move my self sim in here to test, so you might see some testing going on here as well. And I think one really helpful thing that really made this possible was I saw Simicky, which I will link down below. They sent out on Twitter this awesome 1x1 usable bathroom space. And we end up using that in here. So I just want to give a shout out to her. That was awesome. She also did, I believe, like a fully functional, completely livable 2x3 house. I think that was just recently. That was also awesome. Definitely recommend checking her out. She's got some great streams and videos as well. So now this is where I'm trying to figure out the floor plan, the layout, how it's all going to work. You may have seen, number 1, I tried to use the Murphy bed. My guy got squished right away. Like, I swear that always happens to me. But the Murphy bed does fit in that sort of recessed wall section, which is perfect because I had that weird cutout section there to use. So I'm really glad that the Murphy bed could fit in there, because that means we could use this living space or use this room as a living space rather than the other end, because it saved a few tiles. So here's where I'm sort of testing out this to make sure it all works. You can see you can shower, go to the toilet, and use the sink. Unfortunately, that does mean that this build does require the Sims 4 University because of that shower. But that's really the only shower that's going to look good and work in there. I honestly don't know if other showers work, because obviously those are like a 1x1 tile. So this build only requires base game, tiny living, and university life. It would have been nice to have it base game and tiny living, but couldn't do that if we wanted a shower as well. And I think it's a good trade-off. It is a good trade-off. But other than that, basically using all tiny living stuff throughout this entire build and just working out where things can go. Obviously, we used the Murphy bed with the couch so we could have the TV there. And I was going to put those chandeliers in, but then I was like, I don't know, because this is technically like a home on a trailer. And I guess in theory, you'd be able to move it around. I was like, I don't know about a chandelier hanging down while driving. But I guess having said that, we also did that hanging plant on the back. So I don't know, you might just want to take that down when you start driving somewhere. Anyways, and then this begins the process of me trying to figure out how to fit in a kitchen, dining, and a second bedroom. So that's what we're doing now, trying to figure out how that's all going to flow together, how it's going to work. We essentially needed a 1x3 space, at least for a bed, and also, a room for a door. So trying to mix and match everything, figure out how that's all going to work was interesting. I also did utilize some wall lights. I didn't want to use... I did want to use a new lamp, that giant lamp, because you guys did mention in my build by overview, we can there's like a little slot to put items on that big new lamp, but also it is quite big, so I didn't really have room for it in here. I think I tried a couple of times, it just didn't work. And so this is where I was like, we could do a toddler bed, or we could try and fit, a full-size bed in there. So this is where I started doing some rearranging and seeing what's going to work here. I really wanted to... it would be great if this worked, this sort of splitting that room in half, but they can't get to the fridge there. They do need the 2 tiles to get to the fridge. So that kind of complicated things a little bit. Then I realized I could probably cut off room from the bedroom. It does make the bedroom, a tad bit claustrophobic, but it means that it all works, which is great. So this is what we've done with the kitchen. We put the stove on an angle, got the fridge tucked away in the corner. Then we have two counters there on, well, just by the window, which are fully usable. Like those are completely usable. I do put a sink in one of them, which means that they will cut up and prepare and serve food on the corner counter, which works just fine. But we do have this weird diagonal gap. Obviously you can see between the stove and the counter. But I just decided, let's just get out some decorative items. And I'm going to put them there. So it looks like this counter there. You can't really see the gap. And I think that was like a good compromise and a good way to use that space, because it meant that I could have the stove on that angle and have it all sort of fit together. And I think it looks pretty good. I think it's a good little workaround. We also have a bin. I did not forget a bin in this build. This is probably like my most functional build in terms of everything actually working and existing. Because I swear normally I forget something, whether that be a bin or whatever. In this case, I got it all. So this now begins the process of me adjusting this bed and adjusting furniture to see what works. I would have liked to have the little dresser in that corner just so we could get it. You know, it looked a little bit nicer, but you can see I kind of had to shove the bed further into the room, which, I mean, arguably doesn't look as good, but it is more functional. So we got the dresser there, we got the bed. This double bed, the Murphy bed, still works. Assuming you're standing in the right spot, you can get into it, but you do have to put it up to get out again. But it means that we were able to fit a desk in here with a computer. It also means that the lounge room now has 3 chairs as well, because that was the other thing. It's like, if we have 3 Sims, they couldn't all sit and watch TV, but now there are 3 chairs that they can actually sit on, you know, 2 on the sofa, 1 on that dining chair by the computer. They can all sit in there. So it is like functional in that sense too. It just means when the bed goes down, you know, there's less accessibility around the place, but I think it's good. Actually, you know what I didn't test? And we'll test it at the end of this. When the bed is down, if they can walk past the end of it, because there is technically a tile at the end, but we do have the TV. We've got this poof there. So there might be a couple things in the way when the bed was down. The idea was that the bed could go down and they could still get to the bathroom and the other bedroom. I don't know if that's the case. So we will definitely test that at the end. But I think it's sort of all coming together here. I was seeing if I could fit a mirror in there. I think Simicky did get a mirror in there and it did look quite good. But I don't know if it was a base game mirror or something. Or I don't know. But I decided not to because I didn't want the handles over the mirror, or like a mirror over the shower head. So we just put a mirror in like the hallway and by the front door, I think, as well, or something like that. And now I'm just basically going through, adding little decorations to the build, a little shoe rack there as well. Make it, you know, feel a little bit more lived in and a little bit more, you know, less, I guess, stark. And just a few nice little items around the place. I love that little poof. I really wish they could sit on that. Actually, I put it under that TV unit because I think that's what Deligracy did in her tiny home. I think she was like, I really want to use this. And then I think it was like slotted under the TV. And I was like, that fits perfectly. It is technically a little table, so they won't sit on it anyway. So I think it was a nice thing to just sort of slot under there. And it adds a bit more color as well. I made it yellow to go with the blue. That I think we got some good colors in here, you know? Maybe, I don't know. And then this bedroom is a little sad because it's quite small. I decided to try and add a little table here. I guess kind of like a little vanity thing almost, because I put a few little, I think like perfumes or cologne or something on it. Perfumes? Is that the plural of perfume? Or is it just perfume? I've got a lot of perfume. Yeah, it's probably just perfume. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I just put some stuff in that because it seemed a little empty and a little bland. So I was like, let's just put a little table in there. We can get a mirror. We got that little rug. And I think it feels a lot nicer now than it did before. I mean, obviously the bed is still squished into this little hole, but to be fair, it's a trailer for 3 people. I think it's pretty good. It is a big trailer. Like if you compare it to the size of the car or the truck I put down there, it's pretty big. You might want some large roads to drive it on. So I don't know. Anyway, we're doing the outside now because obviously we don't want a blank lot. Now with the micro home, I don't know if it's with the other tiers as well, but with the micro home, you definitely get the faster growing plants, and I think they grow twice as fast. So I was like, let's do a garden here, like, or design a little garden patch where you could plant, you know, whatever you wanted, grow it out here. That's a really nice spot. So basically the garden is kind of designed around this, and then I just do lots of plants. I do like a little picnic table, you know. Oh, and I think I do a wedding arch as well. Not for weddings, just because I thought it looked really nice. Like it framed the pathway really nicely, so I liked it. So that's kind of what I did, just a bunch of plants out here. And I guess when I was doing it, like I was putting plants and flowers around the actual trailer itself. I was like, it doesn't really make sense unless the trailer has been there for ages. Which, I mean, because it's attached to a truck, so I was like, I don't know how long the trailer would have been here. But I guess, I don't know, there's been little bushes and flowers that have grown right around the trailer. It looks good. It doesn't have to be realistic. And quite frankly, most of this probably isn't. I I don't know. I don't know. It looks good though, and it works. It's 32 tiles, so I am happy with it. I did a little garden hose on the fence there as well. Went to nighttime, got some little lights along the pathway because I thought that looked nice. You can see I put the wedding arch there because it just goes over the path. I don't know. I think it looks really, really nice. And then I've got this little front garden thing. I would have done like a barbecue pit or something like that, but again, because I'm using base game and tiny living only, and I guess technically university, I thought let's just do like a little picnic table, a little tree so you could sit there in the shade or whatever. And that would be quite nice. And then on the rooftop, you could put some stuff up there if you wanted, but in this case, I've just put like a little vent and like an air conditioning unit. So they just sit on the roof of the trailer there. And that's kind of it. That's pretty much the build, but we will jump into the game in just a moment and make sure that when the bed is down, you can still access stuff. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe you just have to put the bed up. You have to deal with it. You're locked in the single bedroom if you're in there, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. Let's go ahead and jump into the game. All right, so we're in the game. We'll just give you a quick look in case the speed build was too far. I think this is really, really nice. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out, the garden and everything. I mean, the back of the trailer looks kind of strange with, you know, the stairs going up. And technically, we could make this a 31 tile build just by deleting that. But I don't know. I thought it looked kind of weird just having the stairs go around. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It was just sitting there. You could get rid of that if you wanted. Anyway, so that's the build. Let's go ahead and go inside. So I guess we'll just have a quick look before we actually test and make sure it works. I think it looks really, really nice. It's really nicely detailed. It's got everything in there. We're using the new door, little shoes. You know, I didn't actually test this doorway with those shoes. I think we got to test this again. Let's get, where am I? I'm standing up. Oh, okay. I teleported myself all the way over there. Let's just jump myself back here. There we go. All right, so we're a little bit closer. So go up to this level. Let's just say go into the living room. I was going to say if he couldn't somehow get in there now, I was going to be so upset. All right, so he's going into the living room. That's good. And as far as I'm aware, everything currently still works. Let's make sure we... okay, yep. Okay, it's the shoes. We can probably shift this over a little bit. We were using move objects a lot during this. It should still work here. We'll test the door again. So now begins the testing process live on video. Okay, now can you go in there? Okay, cool. That's fine. And let's just make sure you can still get out of the house. Probably also important. Yes, you can. That's fine. Good. Okay. Now, so we can still get around. The kitchen still works. I tested that all before. I don't know if I think I don't think I recorded the testing of the kitchen. You can still get in that bed. Let's go put this bed down and see if this still works. Because the problem... Oh, you know what? There's actually a bunch of room here. Let's just say go here. Oh, that took up less room. I guess because the floor tile, if you look at it, actually goes to there. Like, that's where it goes to. So, yeah, that's fine. We got loads of room. Hey, can you still get to the computer when the bed's down? I doubt it. Because no, okay. So, to get to the computer on that side, you do need to put the bed up. But I think that's a fine compromise, considering it all still fits and it works. Like, you just do that, and then you can get over here, no problem. So, that's cool. That is the little trailer. Hope you guys enjoy it. I guess try play with it. So, basically, now what you would do... It's just, if you want a toddler or a baby in there, just replace that bed. But yeah, the bed works perfectly fine in there. And you know what? I don't know if I tested this. Change outfit. It should work, because I don't think they actually need to walk up to it, do they? No, that's fine. They don't actually use it. They just sort of stand in front of it. Easy. Beautiful. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. This is the little micro trailer home, which will be up on the gallery. And I'll link it down below. I don't know if I can upload it before this is out. The game comes out in a few hours after posting this video, so I'll put it up when the game is out. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.